Thank you for being with us here on Real Estate in the Lowcountry. Our mortgage guru, Benji Gecy, is back, and we have some good news.
Great news.
Yeah.
Rates are falling again. Looks like that trend is going lower, as you can see from the one-year rate chart. Freddie Mac right here, we're at some of the lowest levels of the year. Back in January, I think we hit about 6.6. Right now we're at right about 6.8, 6.7. That's the national average with Freddie Mac. Beaufort Lending, we're actually pricing out some loans around 6.2, 6.3. So seeing some really aggressive conventional rates right now. VA rates are in the 5s. So lots of activity right now. We're having lots of refinance activity coming. I shouldn't say lots. It's definitely picked up. There have been really no refinance applications for 2 years. We're starting to see maybe 3 or 4 per week. So lots of opportunities right now.
Yeah. Well, so, I mean, that kind of points to what we were talking about before we started filming. So Benji might be right again, right?
5.0 by the end of the year.
Yeah, so we're going in that direction. And so to that point, like you said, there are refinances going on, maybe some first-time home buyers entering the market, investments, properties looking a little bit more attractive these days. So let's talk through all of those things. Let's start with the refinance.
Well, so refinance applications, there's a couple good tips that I can give all of the people looking to refinance. So you want to lower your payment enough to pay your closing costs in about 2 years. So whatever the savings are per month, over a 2 or 3 year period, you should be able to make that back. Another tip is you have to wait 6 months from the day you purchase to refinance to go off of the appraised value. So that's a good tip there, so know that. Yeah. And you can go off the purchase price on a refinance and use that if you put a lot of money down, but you also want to know what your credit score is. So when you're refinancing, you have 2 options. You can either buy the points down to get that rate lower, which I recommend when you're refinancing, especially as rates are going lower, or you can try to do it with no closing costs. Both of those, you're gonna have to have the highest credit score possible. Okay. So know your credit score going in. That higher credit score is gonna get you a little better rate. And if you're 700, you can get it over 740, might be 1/4% lower, and I'll save you a little bit of money there. So on the refinance side, you gotta shop your rate, because some lenders will require you to have an appraisal. Other lenders may not. They can waive the appraisal, and that could be a quicker closing, saving some money in closing costs. Our veterans and FHA government loans, you don't have to have an appraisal unless you're doing a cash out refi. So it is a streamlined refinance. Those go very quickly, very limited closing costs on VA and FHA loans.
Okay, very interesting, all very good points. So let's talk about somebody who might be looking to buy, particularly a first-time home buyer, but you might have other buyers entering the market now too.
We've had hundreds of maybe thousands of people in the county waiting for rates to go lower, and they're starting to hear that news now. So the market is picking up, applications are picking up, especially for purchases. First-time home buyers, they feel like they have a chance now to maybe find something and get a little more affordable payment. So first-time home buyers, my recommendation to them, use a 2-1 buy down. So if rates have dropped to 6.5, try to get the seller to pay some closing cost money. Then you got 4.5 the first year, 5.5, then maybe you can refinance from there. And then what we're seeing also with the dip in rates, lots of investors coming into the market. Coastal South Carolina is very popular, continues to be. Investors from all over the country are buying property in the area, and the lower rates are encouraging more investment activity. So I think we're still in a population explosion around here. So it's going to get busy. It's going to get busy again.
When we're out there driving around, it is
lots
summer,
of
course, but we're seeing that kind of, I think, a little bit more year round, really.
So I think, refinancing and purchasing, there's going to be more activity, and that volume is definitely picked up. And if you look at that chart, that trend is definitely going lower. And by the end of the year, I think we're going to have even better rates, which is going to create more application volume, purchases, refinances, investors, first-time home buyers. So good tips, get your stuff in order, get your credit scores as high as possible. Find you an experienced realtor if you're purchasing, and there's some pretty good inventory on the market right now. So before the rates go too low, try to get out there right now.
That's what I was just going to say, because if you are a first-time home buyer, this might be a little bit of a sweet spot because there is some inventory out there to choose from. When we're going to get towards the 5% again, I think we're going to see where things are going to go a lot quicker.
Yeah, and you're going to have bidding wars. So the cash buyers are going to be back in the market trying to take property again, and you're going to have multiple bids on property. So I think now is good timing because we can kind of see the forecast as maybe rates are a little lower, and property values are a little cool right now, and we have some inventory. So I think right now is an excellent time for everyone to get out there and maybe look at buying something.
And shop their rate.
And shop their rate with Beaufort Lending, for sure.
Absolutely. Well, Benji, thank you for being here. As always, Betsy. Great information.